Welcome back. I'm Tieast, and we are here at the Aurora Italiana restaurant talking to influential women around Michigan, in West Bloomfield in particular right now. And I have the pleasure of sitting down and talking to Courtney. Pronounce your last name for me.
Pachuta.
Pachuta. Courtney Pachuta. I have an interesting name. I want to make sure I got yours correct.
I love it.
And so we are, again, talking to women as we anticipate International Women's Day coming up very soon. So, Courtney, again, very excited to meet with you. I've read a little bit about what you do, so I got a lot of questions. But first, I just want to start off with hearing in your own words, who are you? What do you do? What are you passionate about? What wakes you up every morning?
Well, my dog wakes me up every morning.
Yes, I understand.
Who am I and what do I do? So I am the co-founder and COO of a business event management firm.
Yes.
Primarily, we service the alternative investment financial industry. I'm extremely passionate about service and providing service, and also I'm a mom.
Yes.
And I'm a former teacher, so I live for teaching and training, and everything that I do kind of revolves around those areas on a daily basis.
Wonderful, wonderful. So tell me a little bit more about alternative investments, financing. If someone doesn't know fully what that is, raise his hand. Tell us a little bit more about what that is and kind of how your business supports that industry.
So when my husband and I were 50-50 partners in the business, when we started this business, we knew that we wanted to service a niche market.
Sure.
And because we believe that relationships and connections are everything, we had a lot of relationships in that market. And so alternative investments are everything from like oil and gas to opportunity zones, plenty of other investment
on and on
that
and on.
would not be necessarily traded on, on the S&P 500, but yeah.
Got it. So in particular, as you service this community of businesses, if you will, in the event space, what makes that different than if you were an event planner for something else?
Well, we always joke that we don't do weddings.
Right.
But truly what our events are focused around are the business development. So we take the time to really become a strategic leader with our clients and sit at the table with them and understand what their sales goals are, and what their organizational goals are, and then help arrange the event experiences so that it can further impact the relationships that they need to grow their businesses.
Now, this is such an interesting space. Tell us a little bit more about what led you here. What were you doing before? Maybe your educational background or some experience that kind of said, hey, this is what I think we should be doing, hubby.
Yeah. So I started out my career as a teacher.
Yes.
And absolutely love teaching.
What were you teaching? High school, middle school, elementary?
Oh, yes. Elementary. Yeah, it was wonderful. And I caught the entrepreneurial bug and started a business back in 2010, back before influencers were influencers. And I had a fashion blog and was a personal shopper. And that's how I met my husband now. And he was a business owner in Troy and grew his business through networking and relationships and events. And so it was a very natural segue for he and I to come together. He's the extrovert, I'm the introvert. He's the visionary, I'm the integrator.
The doer, right?
Yes, like the yin and the yang. And it made perfect sense for us to then go into this event planning space.
So it's interesting, you've mentioned the importance of networking a couple of times already. And I'm fascinated that you label yourself as an introvert, because I too feel like I'm a functional introvert. That's what I call myself.
Yes,
like,
I call myself.
I need to turn it on, I can.
Highly functioning extroverted introvert. Yeah.
I could be in the closet with books for 2 weeks, just push food under the door.
Yes,
so
100%.
What would be your advice for someone who maybe isn't comfortable? Because clearly you can do it when you need to.
Yes.
So what are some things maybe that you would say to someone who is not readily available, their social battery might be low or whatever you call it these days, to get out there and at least try to network? Because it is important to growth and success.
Yes. Well, so two parts to that. I think that putting labels on like whether or not you're an extrovert or you're an introvert it keeps us like smaller. And I know that I'm an introvert because that's how I recharge. And I know that my husband's an extrovert because that's how he recharges in groups of people. It gives him energy. And I know that if I'm going to spend an evening with a group of people, I'm going to schedule then a night at home the next night to help me recharge. So I think a little bit of that is just understanding how we get our energy and what we need to do, and just have the awareness of it. That then you can plan for it. Like, I know going out, it's going to take a lot of energy. Yeah, exactly. But I love it and I'm okay with it. And so I think the next part of it too is I think we don't always give enough credit to our networks that we have. We are so networked, whether it's online or in person, but we're already so networked. And just being willing to ask for help, ask the question, or ask for what you need. You never know who you already have in your network who's going to have the answer to the question or the resource that you might need, or be willing to be the person to help and step up. So I think just honoring those relationships that we already have in our life is super important to then build the relationships out.
You're right. Now, it's a great way of thinking about it, and I hadn't until just now, so thank you for that. It's almost like when, and I know you have fashion experience, when they tell you to shop your own closet, like don't go buy more, you probably have what you need in your closet. Same thing for networking, right? You probably have the person that you need. Right. And we're always thinking we need more, but reevaluate what you already have. Right. You probably have it right there. Yes. So that's sound advice. I like that a lot. So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about parenting. You mentioned that you are a mom. So tell us, how many kids, how old are they, what are they into?
So 2 kids. My youngest is my daughter. She's 14. She's an 8th grader. She is very into her friends and being an 8th grader. Yes. She's on the swim team. She's joining the track team. She's very involved. Has her whole life planned out.
Oh, of course. She has all the answers now.
Exactly. And then I have a 19-year-old son. He is a freshman at Michigan State.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you. He's majoring in hospitality business. We'll see if he wants to take over the family business or not.
I kind of feel that's where he's going.
We'll see, but I'm very, very proud. Yeah, he is really he's into school right now.
You can't ask for anything more.
I'm going to leave it at that. I'm very proud.
Yeah. Right. So as you look at your parenting journey, and again, kudos to your kids, they seem like they're doing awesome things. As you look at your parenting journey, what are some of maybe the highs and the lows that have given you, whether it's a life lesson or fuel to drive you in your professional life, as well as maybe in your parenting life?
So parenting is definitely a journey. And what I have learned that when I became a parent, and I'm going to take this a little sideways, but is that I learned how to appreciate my parents more, because it really taught me that I have no clue what I'm doing.
No manual comes with the kid.
Right, exactly. They had no clue what they were doing. So it gave me a lot of grace to look back and realize that they were doing their best. And also, I'm doing my best. And
absolutely,
that is what it is. And also, just being a little bit more vulnerable and real with my kids has really helped. I mean, I am the parent, it is my household, I do make my rules, but at the same time, they're not always the right things. They seem right at the time, but they may not be right for my kids. So it's been a very, very fun and lively journey, learning how to figure out myself, but then also do it as the leader of our household.
Sure. So juxtapose for me, if you will, the parenting journey with now you're in the event space. I'm sure that you can lay out every plan and every detail about an event. And how often does it happen exactly as you've laid it out? Much like
every
parenting.
time, of course.
Of course.
There is never anything that goes wrong.
I'd love to hear about maybe one of the most challenging, so to speak, event issues that you maybe had to address, and kind of what you did and how you learned from that.
Okay. Well, I always think of, when you say the image of, like what went wrong, I always think like we're like a duck. We're smooth on top. And
underneath, oh my gosh, yes, underneath it's chaos.
Oh yeah, totally. But I'm trying to think of a really challenging event. Well, one story that comes to mind, it wasn't necessarily a challenge, it was an opportunity to really go above and beyond, which we work with a lot of the same firms over and over again, and this one particular one of the attendees knows us really well, and so we received a phone call early in the morning that they wanted to put on a wine pairing and chef's class by noon for 15 people.
Great.
And we were at an offsite event.
And they told you this when?
I think we got the phone call around 7 a.m.
Okay.
And it was posed as like, I have a challenge for you. Let's see if you can do it.
Right.
And we were like, thank you so much for the opportunity. Let's do this. And we did. We put together an incredible chef's pairing cooking class that 15 people had a lovely time at. It took a lot of details and phone calls, and
and using that network that
running
you already had.
Yes, exactly. And who do we call? And we got it. And how are they going to get here? And what's it going to look like? And what's the schedule? And
So I think there's a resourcefulness that speaks to you as a business owner, and I feel like that mom element helps with the resourcefulness. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Oh, just being able to like change on a dime, and also just making decisions. I think what the biggest part about it is just being okay having to make constant mini decisions all day, every day. Especially as a parent, as you know, we're constantly deciding, what we're doing next. And it's not even the what we're having for dinner. It's the what they call them, like the unmentioned decisions that I know women are always thinking about in our head.
Some statistic that says how many decisions you make a day, and it exceeds it approaches 1 million, I think.
Yes, easily.
And I'm like, is that real? Then I'm like, it's probably true. I mean, they're just microscopic decisions.
Well, just
that you're
all
making.
of the things that we keep in our mind that I know. I mean, it's the constant am I making a doctor's appointment? Did they have a doctor? Did I need to do that today? The dog, we got to make sure that the dog goes to the groomer. Okay, the cleaning lady's coming this weekend, so I got to make sure I do this. Oh shoot, I'm supposed to, pick so-and-so up, and do I have to get them their cleats for soccer? And did I pack those in the car? And oh shoot, that reminds me that my car needs to go to the car wash. I probably need an oil change. I should. And it's that constant that we keep, and yet we're walking around doing the thing, being a professional, being a mom, and keeping it all.
Or at least trying to, as best we can. As my hair steadily turns gray moment by moment.
And if I don't, well, that's okay too.
Right. And speaking of, when you're not making decisions, whether it's for your business, for your family, and you're thinking about your time, what you do for you, what are some of those things that you enjoy?
Oh, I'm very simple in that regard. And it's taken many, many years to get to this point of being simple. I love just a good book, honestly.
Tell me what you've been reading. What's something good you've read recently, whether it's this year or last year? What's something good?
Well, I just sent this book. It's one of my favorites. It's called Unreasonable Hospitality by Will Guidara. He's the owner of 111 Madison Park.
Oh, okay.
Great read.
Unreasonable Hospitality.
I just sent that to one of my team members. I have many books that I read over and over again. One of my favorites to read over and over again is called The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer. It's kind of my spiritual book, if you will, that keeps me grounded. But yeah, a good book and a Saturday afternoon at my sofa is
can't beat it.
My favorite thing, and I do love a good massage though. Don't get me wrong.
Also can't
beat that. A spa day, I will take that any day.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let me ask you this. So as an entrepreneur that has gone into business with your spouse, a lot of people we talk to, it's like just a single woman-owned thing, or they do it on their own, and that's not what their partner's involved in. What are some things you can share about being in partnership with your spouse and or partner that maybe some people can learn from?
I don't know if anybody will learn from it. They might think we're crazy. But I mean, it's for us. It's the only way I could ever see for us. Our relationship is, I mean, like I said before, we are very yin and yang, and we complement each other so well. I can't imagine not working with him by my side. It does add many, many layers to our relationship because not only are we business partners making decisions, but we're also married and have children
raising a family
together, and yes, have all kinds of things that go on in life. So yeah, I mean, it provides a really interesting dynamic where, like, especially in the workday, you know, like if something has happened at home, I have to remind myself that now he's my business partner. He's not my husband. I'm not gonna.
I won't bring that up until
yeah,
after
I know,
5.
right? Yeah, exactly. But honestly, it's helped our relationship deepen so much because we're forced to have the conversations that I feel like a lot of couples don't want to have, but we have to, because we have to show up on the same team every day, especially in front of our team, in work and in the household. And that just really, it forces us to sit down and to talk about the uncomfortable things.
Absolutely.
Or, you know, something that if he said something that rubbed me the wrong way or I said something or whatever, we have to bring that up because otherwise those things can't grow and fester.
Right, it can't get in the way of what you need to take care of day to day.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
A definitely interesting dynamic, but it seems to be
It
working
is.
very well for you both, so congratulations on that.
Yes.
So anything else you'd like to share just about your business and where you feel the direction of it is going? Obviously, we're very early in the year still. What are some things that you see in terms of growth? Is there maybe a new segment you're going to embrace or some new things that you might want to bring to your business?
New things. I don't know about new. Well, new would be, we are definitely focused on AI and automation.
Yes.
It is a thing that everyone's talking
Tell
about.
us more about that.
We
Yes,
are
everyone's
talking about it
it.
too. We are, and there's just so many cool things that AI can help with now. And I mean, we've trained AI in our company just to help us communicate better with our clients.
Absolutely.
Help us learn their voice and automating a lot of the communications that we can just to allow us to grow even more and spend more time on the activities that we can grow. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is a major focus right now. And growth-wise, honestly, it's to be able to serve more. I mean, like I said in the beginning, I'm obsessed with service, and the more people that I can help grow their business through relationships and service, then the more I'll do.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we'll close with maybe one more question. Are you involved in things outside of business in terms of, you know, giving back to the community, and what are some things that drive you in that space?
Wow, I have to be honest, I don't really have a lot of ways to give back, but I am really happy that I met actually a lot of the women here today.
Yes.
To involve me even more.
Building that network.
Yes, exactly. I love that about tonight because I got to meet women I wouldn't have met otherwise. But I am looking for and welcoming the opportunity to give back to the community. I have been so focused on building my business and building my team, and we're a fully remote team, so we have team members from all over the world.
That's great.
So I haven't spent as much time in my community.
Well, you're building your own, doing your own community, giving back, and open to other opportunities. So that's always 100%. The key.
Yes.
Yes. Well, it has been such a pleasure talking to you. I look forward to a future conversation with you. So you're not getting away that easy. But I hope you wish you continued success and for your kids as well. So thank you very much for sharing your story with us.
So lovely. Thanks.
So again, I am Tieast, and we are here at the Aurora Italiana restaurant talking to influential women in Michigan in anticipation of International Women's Day. And we look forward to more conversations, and we will be right back.